Hey everyone, my name is Sarah Bull. This is my awesome friend Andy Browers.
Hello.
He's one of my very many theater friends, but actually my favorite theater friend.
Oh, stop.
And you're awesome. And he's super talented. Not only is he an actor, but he's a writer. We have some questions that you guys asked about theater-related topics, and we want to answer those for you.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Dream roles.
I really like Shakespeare. I know he's not for everyone, but I think the language is beautiful and it's sometimes hilarious, sometimes heartbreaking. So my dream role is actually from Julius Caesar, which is one of his history plays. You maybe have been forced to read it in high school. A lot of people have to read that one for whatever reason. I think the role of Mark Antony would be a dream role. His speeches are phenomenal. He's a Roman citizen, so these are beautiful speakers when language was super important. So I love that role.
I too am a fan of Shakespeare. I have done Macbeth once as a witch, but I would love to take a stab at it again as Lady Macbeth. And I also like Richard III. I think being able to play Queen Anne would be amazing. Even though I am young, I think I could portray an older woman. So I would love to do that, as well as many other Shakespearean shows. For musicals, Rizzo in Grease.
Awesome.
And Cosette and Les Mis. Favorite part played a witch in Macbeth. I thought that was very fun. I also enjoyed Little Becky Two Shoes in Urinetown. I was like a fiery kind of character, and I really liked that. Plus, I got to choreograph a swing dance scene in that, which was really, really cool. Viola in Twelfth Night.
Can I tell them a story about one of your favorite roles?
Sure.
So, like she said, we did Macbeth at the university, and she was one of the witches. And many productions of Macbeth use the witches in a lot of different parts because they know witchcraft, obviously, so they magically will take on different personas. So Sarah was a witch who was playing a messenger. In Shakespeare, messengers are important because they bring messages on stage. So there's a part where I was playing Macbeth, and I was waiting for some juicy news about what the enemy armies were up to. And we were in a performance. We've done this many times. And so I know what's coming, and I'm pensive. I'm ready. I've braced myself, and a few seconds go by, which on stage, when there is nothing going on, does not feel like a few seconds. Obviously, you can probably imagine. So it feels like 30 minutes have gone by. I'm trying to think about what I could possibly do that would be interesting to look at while maybe, you know, if she had a costume problem or if she was hurt backstage. I didn't know what was going on. So I go and sit at my throne. I have a drink of wine. There's not much for me to do. And so finally, we just sort of move on. So what was going on backstage exactly, Sarah?
Okay, so we hung out in the green room above the theater, and that's where I was patiently waiting by the speaker because it was so loud up there. I was sitting by the speaker and I'm listening, you know,
like a good actor
for
should.
my cue to run downstairs, and I missed it, and all of a sudden I hear something like a big pause. I run downstairs, and I'm backstage, and you're sitting there like this. I'm just kind of freaking out. I totally missed it, left him on stage stranded, and when he got off stage, he was angry at me. It was like this thing that we had, and he was like, "What did you do? I can't believe you left me on stage all by myself. I hate you."
It came out of fear. I was scared.
And I felt so bad because I was like, "Oh my God, what happened? I don't know what happened."
But it happened at a good place because there was no one else on stage. I didn't have to make up a conversation with anyone. So if you're going to pick one place to maybe forget to come on, that was it. So,
yeah.
But it's hilarious.
And it makes a good story, so it was meant to happen,
exactly.
right?
That's the magic of theater, is that
meant to happen.
You're seeing it happen every time live, and things go wrong, inevitably.
Yeah.
It makes it better.
Yep.
Not at the time, but now it does. One of my all-time favorites is from a play called The Foreigner, which is by a playwright named Larry Shue. It's a really funny, really heartwarming show about a person who is very painfully shy, who comes out of his shell, like many actors do, obviously. And he finds himself in the American South around these very loving but kind of crazy characters. The role I played was a young man named Ellard Sims, who is described many times as being a little slow, and it could be argued that maybe he has a developmental disability. We're not really sure, but he's very sweet, very kind, very fun, and I love playing him because he's so likable. I really enjoy charismatic characters because it's nice when the audience is on your side. I like that. But maybe the highest compliment I was ever paid after a show, a woman came up to me who works in a school, and she works with a class of students who are developmentally disabled, and she said that I maybe convinced her that I was legit. So very nice to hear.
Favorite audition stories, good and bad. I auditioned for Singing in the Rain in San Jose, California, and I didn't realize that it was heavy tap based. So I show up and I'm like, yeah, I can dance, and all these girls are wearing their tap outfits and tap shoes, and they busted out all their moves, and I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna spin around in a circle and hope for the best, and that's what I did, and that's what happened. And
it's good philosophy.
Yeah, and they were looking at me like, okay, this chick has no idea what's going on, and I just tried to play the role like I knew what I was doing. I was a skilled tap dancer, and I was not. So thankfully, the singing and the acting boosted me up a little bit, and I ended up being called back anyways.
If you title this video, can it be spin around in a circle and hope for the best? Please.
Sure.
Really, the first real play I was ever in was the show Oliver. We came to the musical portion of it, and I didn't really have training as a singer. We'd like sing in church and like sing around the house, whatever, but I'd never really sang along with a piano, just myself. So they're testing out our vocal ranges. So I'm in 6th grade. I'm a chubby kid, and I'm a straight up probably soprano at that time. Maybe now too. I'm not sure, but I could see like the pianist would play some scales, and I'd sing along, and kept going higher and higher and higher and higher, and I could like see the eyebrows raise as we're getting towards the end of the keyboard, and I'm still belting out these like beautiful songbird sounds that should only be coming from a young female. My worst audition was one of my first professional auditions in Minneapolis. I was terrified. I don't know why. I have quite a bit of experience, and I love it, so I'm usually pretty comfortable on stage. But for some reason, at this audition with all these professional people that I'd never really been around before, I forgot how to act straight up. I forgot how to do it. So it was like me as a 16-year-old actor came back with a vengeance. It was embarrassing. It was really, really embarrassing.
We talked a little bit about Macbeth earlier, but we have someone who asked, why is it bad luck to say Macbeth in a theater?
It's kind of a famous story that the play is bad luck, and it's cursed, and all these terrible things happen. There's a couple theories of why. I don't know all of them, but I've heard a few. And there's a theory that, as we said, the play involves witches, which you probably know, and the play opens with the witches doing some incantations, and some scholars believe that Billy Shakespeare himself because England was crawling with witchcraft at the time, actually just borrowed straight up witch incantations, and so the opening of Macbeth contains complete texts of spells and rituals, and when the witchcraft community got wind of this, they were none too pleased, and so they cursed the play. And it makes a cute story like, oh, witches, vengeance, whatever, but truly really horrible things have gone wrong with this production. There's many reportings of injuries and death surrounding the play. But if someone in the theater does say Macbeth, there's a story where if you spin 3 times, spit, and swear, then the curse is broken or whatever.
Really? I never heard that.
Some people will force you to leave the theater, and you have to knock on the door and either ask for permission or say something to be allowed back in. Some people are actually pretty crazy about that curse.
It's serious stuff.
Should I tell the Love It story?
Sure, yeah.
Do we have time?
Sure, yeah.
At the American College Theater Festival, we got to participate in audition for an acting scholarship. Sarah was nominated for the scholarship, and she chose me as her acting partner. And we make it to the second round, and every round you get to perform one more of your pieces, and there are 3 rounds. So we get to do our second piece for the first time that day, and it's the play about hamsters.
Mm-hmm.
And before we go on, we're backstage, probably a little nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just dawns on me that we have really no reason to be nervous because we're doing something that we love.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just go out there and forget about them, forget about the scholarship, advancing to the next round, and just enjoy those 2 minutes that we get together, and just love every second of it. And I think we did. It was one of the funnest 2 minutes of on stage time I've ever had in my life.
When we got off that stage, we were like jumping up and down. Our hearts were like, that was amazing! It felt so good.
And we loved it.
We did. And we made it to the finalists. First role ever.
My first role ever was actually in a 4-H skit. I was maybe 6 years old, and I'd never performed anything in my life. I was one of those really painfully shy kids that never opened their mouths. And there was this little throwaway part of this peanut vendor named Mr. Poppy. I had fun. I had fun with it, and it was a new kind of fun I had never had before, and I knew it was a kind of fun I never wanted to stop having. And my dad actually said that watching me perform that, he figured theater was going to be something that I was going to be drawn towards.
For sophomore year in high school, as part of the drama class, we had to perform a show together and perform it in front of the whole high school. And we did The Good Woman of Szechuan. And I was Mrs. Mitsu, which is the landlady of the whole place. And I wanted to make myself seem more interesting, so I was a smoker, so kind of talked with a rough, raspy voice, and that was my first role. That's it. That's all of our questions. So
that was fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for submitting your questions. Feel free to leave comments below and let us know your favorite part of this video, or if you have any theater-related topic questions you guys want to talk about, maybe other videos you'd like us to do in the future, possibly. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, because obviously we're awesome, yeah? So, maybe, or if you thought it was okay, just give it a thumbs up anyways. I'd really appreciate it. And now we're going to go and read, actually, another play, Bash. Andy Browers created his own theater company called the Ghostlight Theater, and we will be premiering the first show in Chanhassen, Minnesota, in March. So if you live in Minnesota, we would love for you to be there.
Come see us.
Turn that TV off, leave your MacBook a go. YouTube.com/sarahbull. Comment, rate, and favorite, there's no need to bid. Hit the subscribe button, you'll be glad you did.